Metropolitan and Siliguri Metropolitan Police for this special awareness program which we have organized for the students of DPS Siliguri. We are very thankful to the management of DPS Siliguri, who has been very kind enough to get associated with this program. Session. We are also grateful to Sri Gaurav Sharma, Honorable Commissioner, Siliguri Metropolitan Police, who is the guest speaker for the day. And at the end of the program, we have kept a special interactive session wherein, in case any of the students have any question, they can put the question with the Honorable Commissioner, sir, and he will address the questions if required. We are also thankful to Sri Rajan Chetri, ACP DD, who has been very kind enough and he has been supportive in organizing this program. So without any further delay, I would request our host club president, Rotarian Shiv Shankar Sarkar, to kindly address the gathering.
Good morning. সবাইকে একবার ধন্যবাদ জানিয়ে আজকের যে দিন সেই দিনটিকে সুন্দর করার জন্য ডিপিএস এর সমস্ত স্টুডেন্টকে আমরা ওয়েলকাম করছি আজকের প্রোগ্রামে। রোটারি ক্লাব শিলিগুড়ি মেট্রোপলিটন এই প্যান্ডামিক সিনারিওতে লাস্ট 2 বছর ধরে যা যা কাজ সমাজের দরকার আমরা সেসব সমস্ত কাজ করে থাকি। আমরা এই বছর প্রচন্ড কমসে কম 8টা ব্লাড ডোনেশন ক্যাম্প আমাদের এর মধ্যেই হয়ে গেছে। আমরা ভ্যাকসিনেশনের প্রোগ্রাম প্রতিদিন করছি। এছাড়াও শিলিগুড়ি শহর এবং উত্তরবঙ্গের সব জায়গায় আমরা গিয়ে সব ধরনের কাজ করে থাকি সাপোর্টিং। তাও আজকের যে কাজটা সেটা সমাজের একটা মহৎ কাজ, যে কাজকে সঙ্গে নিয়ে গিয়ে আমাদের সমাজকে আরো সুন্দর করে তুলতে হবে। তাই ধন্যবাদ জানাচ্ছি আজকের এই প্রোগ্রামকে শিলিগুড়ি মেট্রোপলিটন পুলিশের সবাইকে, স্যার, আমাদের কমিশনার স্যার আর সবাইকে যারা আজকের এই অনুষ্ঠানটাকে আমাদের করার জন্য আমাদের সহযোগ করেছে। ধন্যবাদ জানিয়ে আজকের এই অনুষ্ঠানকে শুরু করছি।
Thank you so much, Shiv Shankar Sarkar, our president. And now I would request the principal, honorable principal, Mrs. Anisha Sharma from DPS Siliguri, ma'am, to kindly address the house with a few words. Can we have Mrs. Anisha Sharma, principal ma'am, DPS Siliguri?
Good morning, Honorable.
Ma'am, your video is off.
Okay. Honorable, good morning and warm welcome to Honorable Commissioner of Police and Rotary Club of Metropolitan for organizing such a beautiful and wonderful program, which is the need of the hour for today's generation. So on this International Day against drug abuse is very, very important for the youth to conduct an awareness amongst them and to keep away. It is very important, and suddenly we got this invitation yesterday only and we were asked to be a part of this. I'm very happy and thankful to Rotary Club of Metropolitan for organizing this program. I was also thinking to have a panel discussion with my youth, but nothing greater than Commissioner speaking to the students and awareing them for this. And this is a global challenge, and nothing better than this to speak to the students and telling them that they should be away from this drug abuse. Once they are out of the gate, after graduating from here, there is no one, and the world is full of such places where drug, tobacco, smoking and drinking, which not only spoils their life, but it also spoils their career, and nobody is there to help them out, and they are addicted to this, and to come out of this addiction is very, very difficult. So my heartfelt gratitude to Rotary Club of Metropolitan and the Metropolitan Siliguri Police for being organizing this, and I'm very thankful to our Honorable Commissioner of Police Gaurav Sharma ji for interacting with my students, not taking much of your time on. We always celebrate this on 26th of June. It was decided in 1987 that this day will be organized as International Day Against Drug Abuse. I'm also associated with one of the organization which is Rehabilitation Center for Drug Abuse. So I know how children get addicted and how children get inclination towards drugs. All the youth, it is very important for them to understand that they need to be away to remain healthy and fit. And during this pandemic, it is very, very important to boost the immune, that you are away from all the drug, not only only this cocaine, or I am talking about, you should be away from smoking, from drinking, which spoils your health. And the need of the hour is to keep yourself fit and boost your immune system so that you can live not in only a healthy life, but you should be an example to the juniors. So over to you, sir. Thank you so much for making us a part of this program. Thank you so much.
Thank you to the respected principal of DPS. I can see on my screen the members of the Rotary Siliguri Metropolitan Club. I'm sorry that because of the restrictions in the dashboard on the screen, I can see only a few of you. So I would extend my greetings to all the people, all the lovely children who are participating in this session with the Siliguri Metropolitan Police to talk about the drug abuse. So as the principal said that, 26th June is observed as a day of International Day Against Drug Trafficking and drug abuse and illicit trafficking. So what exactly are we talking about? Let's, I would like to just reflect on this. I'll not go into the history about how the day came into being or whatever has happened. I would like to talk about you as an individual, how you came into being. You must have read in books somewhere, or you people must have got it in your grooming, that way back, millions of years back, we were all like animals. We were hunter-gatherers gradually. There was some twist which happened around, some twist of nature which happened around 70,000 years odd back. And suddenly from those apes, we started growing into humans. From your 4 limbs, you started walking on 2. And something very funny started happening to our bodies. We started changing, the composition started changing. But the most remarkable thing that started changing in us, or what caused the remarkable chain of action which brought us where we are today, is a change in our brains, our psychological structure. So for some reason, the whole universe, the nature chose us, the species, as Homo sapiens we used to call. They were Neanderthals, they got extinct later on. So as Homo sapiens, we started growing, our brains started changing from completely, animal kingdom to we gradually came to being hunter-gatherers, and then slowly and steadily we started farming, we started keeping animals, and we became smarter and smarter with every day. And we saw a lot of ages, we saw a lot of kingdoms, we saw a lot of pandemics. We survived, and there we are standing over here today. And what is there to marvel in that is your brain. Can anybody, I would love to hear from anybody, if you can give me a quick reaction about what is the size of a human, what is the weight of a human brain? Does anybody know? You're carrying on the top of your head all the time.
If any student want to interact, please raise your hand. I will unmute
Will
you.
anybody?
Aryavir Singh, please
Good
unmute.
morning, sir. So the weight of the human brain is approximately 1 kilogram.
Human brain. Sorry, come again.
So the weight is approximately 1 kilogram.
So I think there's some signal problem. Come again. Can you please come again?
So the weight of a human brain is approximately 1 kilogram.
It's around 1300 to 1500 grams, but you are very close, very close. It is above 1 kilogram. So yes, 1.5 grams, 1.5 grams, children are writing over there. So it depends upon the individual structure. So imagine you, while you are growing from your childhood, from the 2.5 to 3 kg pack of ball you were born, to when you become full adolescent person with an average weight of around 65 to 70 kgs. It is just a 1300 grams of gray matter which controls the entire functioning of a body. If it stops, everything stops. So what I mean to say is that your mind is a very powerful tool which the nature has gifted you, and this tool is bringing changes in your physiological state all the time, continuously all the time. Now, what are then how do we perceive the surroundings? How do we perceive the life? What is happiness? What is sadness? The different psychological states. It depends upon the state of your mind. We usually talk about being very happy. So sometimes, there are very different rewarding things in life. Science tells us that although we are 8 billion on this earth, we all are different. We all are different because the basic structure that makes us, the chromosomes and the DNA that defines us, is different. Even for the identical twins, the DNAs are different. They are not cloned. They are different. So we all are different. This different composition makes our response to the environment, to our social systems, to our families, to our cells, very different from others. Now, why I'm talking about this is because that's how your body interacts with the environment all the time. When I'm talking about environment, I'm including the people who are there in your environment. So why do you live? The question is, what is the purpose of life? If at a very philosophical level we ask, what is the purpose of life? The greatest of philosophers say it is, if you find it in the end, it's nothing. So ultimately everybody dies one day, but this is a very beautiful journey of so many years, of 60, 70, 50 years or 80, 90 years, that we all, with our survival instinct, we want to live, and we want to make it beautiful. We want to make it happy. We want to be, we want to make it happy by staying fit, staying healthy, being kind to people, loving. When I say love, it's not me, it doesn't mean love between a man and a woman only. It's being in love with animals, in love with your ecosystem, in love with the sunshine, in love with the rivers, in love with everything. So it is about being happy. So if you are not kind, if you don't have the ability to love, to spread love, then what are you? You become gradually frustrated, you become down. But then, and what you don't get in life is peace, and what you don't ultimately get is happiness. What is happiness? Now, what gives you happiness? Science says it is a sum total of 4 hormones. 4 hormones you're secreted in brain. I'm not from the scientific background, so I'm sure there must be some doctors also over here. They can add or correct me wherever I'm wrong. But invariably, there are 4 hormones we talk about, like endorphins. Endorphins are the pain relievers, which you generate when you exercise. So when you run, you feel good. When you exercise, you get a pain, but that's a very sweet pain. You feel happy, you feel relieved, because your body is generating endorphins. Similarly, oxytocin is there. Oxytocin is a hormone which is a hormone of affection and love. So when you play with a child, you feel happy, you feel relieved, you feel good. When your mother speaks nicely to you, she's scared, oxytocin, you're getting that oxytocin. So it's a hormone of love. We generated like that. Similarly, it's serotonin. Serotonin is a hormone which energizes you all the time. It keeps you happy. It generally it's a hormone which motivates you. It takes you along. And then there is dopamine. Dopamine is a hormone which kind of initially it was thought to give you to give you a high, but now it is felt that it actually enhances the adjustment of the brain to the reward system. So a sum total of these 4 hormones, they will define how you will be happy. Now you might say, okay, fine, then let's inject all of them 1 or 2 grams to everybody. and everybody will be happy. So that's a big mystery. It cannot happen because everybody's composition is different. So my response while looking to an animal might be different from a response to the other individual, while my response of looking at a water body might be different. So I am an individual who might, but there might be a person who will look at the water and he'll feel like swimming, he will like jumping into the water. So we are different. So that's how our body enhances the response of individuals to various things. But there is one thing which is very common amongst all of us, is that our body wants to go away from the fear and it wants to adapt the rewards. Our body wants to, our mind wants to stay away from pain, and it wants to be happy. It wants to, enjoy life. Now, here what happens is we all, we all love to do shortcut in life. Similarly, your brain also loves shortcut in life. So it will always look for a shortcut to happiness. So what is the best way to give shortcuts to happiness? Have a drink, take an injection, take a pill, and get a high. Something which you will get after maybe a month of hard work, or maybe, a high which we will get after studying for 1 full year and passing one exam, and you feel very good, or maybe coming first in the class. See, there's a drug which is there to give you a high. It's so good. So the question is, why not take the drugs then? It's so simple. But are you born only to be happy because of one thing? Are you to be born only to live a unilateral life? No. You are born to live a composite life, to live a whole life. You just cannot be happy by drinking, or smoking. You are changing the neurotransmission system of your brain. What is your brain? The billions of nerve cells in your mind, in your brain. I will not use the word mind. Mind is a very philosophical word. It's a brain. So there are billions of nerve cells which are continuously interacting with each other. The neurotransmission system. The beauty about the brain is these nerve cells, when they secrete the neurotransmitters through the synapses, they learn a particular way of doing things. So for the first day, I don't know how many of you are sportsmen. So the first day when you go and play tennis, or maybe you pick up a class in swimming, you struggle. But for some reasons, by repeating the same activity over and over again, you just perfect it. And then for some reason, one fine day, you are doing that activity without being even mindful about it. What has happened in the process? Who is controlling all your limbs, all your body, your breathing system, everything? Your brain. It is learning an activity. It is learning an activity gradually. What your neurons are doing is they are making new pathways. They are making new structures. They are learning a new response to a particular new activity environment. So by learning swimming, by learning, the strokes every day, by taking extra strokes every day, the new circuits are becoming stronger and stronger and stronger. So strong that even if you fall in the water one day accidentally, you'll just swim out of it with your shoes on, the clothes on. It's so strong. You don't fear the activity becomes normal to you. How many of you, even bother about that? Okay, now I'm going to get up and walk. How many of you are conscious about, okay, I took a left step and I took a right step, and I will not fall, I will not go left, I will not go right. That's because your neurological system has learned it by practice since childhood. And add to it, you are not what you are today. You are a sum total of the evolution. When I talk about you as somebody who got scared of water, or somebody ran away from water, you might laugh at the child who got scared of the water. Oh, tum to darpok hai. Par wo darpok nahi hai. वो सिर्फ पानी से डरता है क्योंकि उसकी एवोल्यूशनरी जो डीएनए पास हो रहा है जनरेशंस में, कहीं कुछ एक ट्वीक आई, कहीं कुछ एक डर आ गया कि उसके मन में वो डर बैठ गया. एंड दैट इज दैट्स अ नेचुरल रिस्पांस ऑफ दैट चाइल्ड टू द फियर. He cannot help it. That water is causing physiological changes in his mind and body, is causing reactions in his mind and body, that he freezes. He just freezes seeing water. So you are not supposed to laugh at him. You're supposed to help him. You are supposed to condition him to talk to him. So when I come to this learning response thing, similarly your brain, when your brain is, kind of learning response to various activities, is learning things. So it learns the reward structure. It learns how to reward itself. I ate food, I felt happy. Mujhe ice cream khaya, acha laga, I felt very good. Somebody loves eating, a chocolate, I felt very good. Somebody loves eating a pizza, I felt very good. This brain is learning a reward system. This happens in a part of the brain called basal ganglia. So it enhances your reward to the activity. Now, imagine I change the reward system for something like drugs. If I get the reward system of 10 pizzas or 100 pizzas in one pill, that's fine. So it's there. It's just giving you a high. So your brain will quickly learn the shortcut. Okay, fine. I need this. So you're gradually, from dependence, you start becoming dependent to the thing. Okay, fine. I need this kind of a pill. I need this kind of a drug to be happy. And now what is simultaneously happening? What is simultaneously happening is there are another organs of the body, which are called the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex. So amygdala is your response, is the paranoid response, is your anxiety, is your response of stress, fear, what I call. I'll use the very common word, fear. So while your basal ganglia is learning a very quick reward system by drugs, it is gradually it is losing all the circuits of reward by, which you used to enjoy by being in the spring sunshine, by looking at the flowers, by swimming in water, by standing in the shade, by playing with the animals, by cuddling with a child, by talking to your girlfriend, boyfriend, or by whatever. You're losing those responses because your brain has learned a reward system. I want this reward. This is giving me the highest response which I can get, which I will not get from anything, not even by by going on a drive with my parents or by going on holidays. I'm not getting anything. So there comes a stage when your brain becomes completely dependent. Now, there are three kinds of drugs. One are stimulants. They will energize you. They'll, enhance your kind of activity. You'll suddenly feel very energetic. I want to drive the car fast. I want to, run fast. I'll do 200 meters. I'll be very quick. They are depressants. So the depressant drugs will put you to sleep. They'll make you mildly, gradually you'll feel like sitting back, relaxing. Okay, I'll go to bed. And they're hallucinogens. Hallucinogens are like the worst of all the drugs, which will take you to a completely different world. It will change your reality. It will alter your reality. And when the effect of the drugs taper off every time, what we call as withdrawal, it is absolutely opposite to what happened when you took the drugs. So if you were taking a stimulant, after the response goes off, you will be suddenly, very low. You'll feel depressed. You'll feel like, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to, I don't want to do any activity. I just want to sit back. Similarly, if you feel very, if you take a depressant, and as soon as the effect tapers off, suddenly your heart rate rises, your body responses rises, you're perspiring a lot, you want to run, you want to go out, you want to do something, you are very anxious, you are just restless, you're going here and there, you can't sit on the chair. And then with the hallucinogens, when you've already altered the reality, it is very difficult to come back to the same reality. It will keep shivering you to the other realities. It creates a confusing mind. So you are playing with your mind. You've altered your reward structure and you are playing with your mind all the time. Absolutely all the time. You're living in two different worlds. And this confusion is now affecting an organ called a part of the brain called amygdala. Amygdala is the paranoia. It's the fear response of the body. It's it's just a bean-shaped small, kind of a structure in your brain. And it controls all your fears. From simple fears to extreme anxieties, it can trigger off just like that. And then it is the prefrontal cortex. So all these confusions, while they're creating bigger and bigger paranoias and fears in amygdala, then there's the prefrontal cortex, which is the logical sense, which brings discipline in you. What is discipline? What is discipline? If I tell you to come at 9 o'clock in the class, you're coming at 9 o'clock, that's punctuality. What is discipline? Discipline is to control yourself, to tell yourself that no means no. If I have decided I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to do it. If you are standing in a drill class and you have a sweat on your forehead, on your brow, and you want to clear it because it's feeling itchy, and you can tell your hand, no, bear it, I'm not going to do it. It will remain like this and gradually the body will adapt. So this prefrontal cortex, which gives you discipline, becomes weaker and weaker because of the changes in amygdala and the basal ganglia. So what are you then? A ball of quick reward seeking, paranoid, indisciplined, uncontrolled individual. And gradually the dependence on your drugs, as soon as the tolerance increases, the dependence goes high and high and high. Your body seeks more and more and more of it. So I'll just put it in this way. Let us say, so think of anything in your life. Think of anything. I'll say whatever you like. Somebody is very fond of making a painting. Somebody is very fond of doing art. Somebody is very fond of swimming. Somebody is very fond of studying, reading books. Don't you see that gradually, when you feel happy with an activity, you want to do it more? You just want to keep repeating it more and more and more and more. You just continuously, you just want to be in that activity all the time, even if you're trekking, if you're running. Similarly, it's your brain. When it has learned a high from, drugs, it has just lost the track of everything. So you will swim in water and you don't feel good. You're standing on the Mount Everest and you're feeling nothing. You're meeting the same individual whom you were in love with 1 year back, but after 1 year drugs, you're looking at the person, you're feeling nothing. You're looking at your parents and there is no affection. You've lost everything. The happiness is completely gone. The only thing that you seek is drugs. You want to be in the drugs and remain in it all the time. So it takes you away from sports, it takes you away from your family, it takes you away from your friends, your circle, and then it is causing an economic strain on you. Of course, nobody's parents will be able to afford so much of money in pushing drugs. So gradually you will do everything to keep yourself happy. So you'll start committing crimes, you'll start stealing things, you'll start doing bad things. And in the end, you might just end up being a criminal also. A criminal, a person who will, who has no dignity, no respect in life, no social stature, and somebody who is, in spite of that, you will not be happy because you cannot be under drugs all the time and be alive. Trust me, there's another thing called autonomic nervous system, because these opiates, what they do is, some of the opiates, they suppress the autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system controls your involuntary activities in the body, like your heartbeat. So even if you choose that I want my heart to stop, you just cannot stop it. It has to go on. If you choose that I'll stop my breath, I'll stop breathing, you can't stop it for very long, maybe maximum a minute or 45 seconds. Somebody is very excellent swimmer, or somebody can do it for 1 minute maybe. You can't do it. These are all involuntary activities which are controlled by the autonomic system, and the evolution has given it to us. It has taken away the control from us, that I won't let you control so many things of you, because ultimately the life and death are in the hands of God. It's there in the hands of nature. So with some of these opiates, they will completely take over your I'll come to all your questions about how to remove drugs from the society. So some of these opiates will take away your capacity of, or your autonomic nervous system to control the heart, the breathing. And you see people, you hear about people who had an overdose of drugs, who were who took an overdose of alcohol, and they just died with a heart failure. They stopped breathing because their brain could not pass the signals. The whole neurotransmission circuit was taken over by these drugs, by the quick hormones, and they replace the reactions rather than what the normal reactions of the body should be. Your mind is continuously interacting with the body. Your body sends a signal to the heart, go beep once, and the pump once, and the heart sends a signal back, yes, I've done. Now the mind sends do the second time. It's doing there. This is a continuous process. Your body is amazing if you study about it. We have been gifted with this beautiful temple to live in. I'm telling you, you're not living on this earth. You are not living in your house. You're living in your body. Respect it. This is the place which the nature has given you. And with every diminishing activity of your mind, with every deterioration in your mental structure, you are losing your body continuously. There is no great sportsman or there is no great person who has been an alcoholic or a drug addict or something like this, and they could not achieve those heights with that. Maybe they would have spoiled themselves after that, but not, you cannot. You just cannot be you just cannot be a Ronaldo by being a drug addict, or you just cannot be a a Messi by being a drug addict. You just cannot be a Dhoni or a Virat Kohli by being a drug addict. These all great people have to have very clean lives. And for that, you have to learn to say a very simple thing: no to drugs. Now, a lot of people, they ask about what do you call, thoda sa try karte hain, thoda sa smoke karte hain, let's have a fag, let's have just one pill, maybe a small injection, a bit of a sniff, snort it a bit. You'll find it fashionable. You'll find it important in social gatherings. See, I'll tell you, this gentleman who asked me this question is how to remove drugs from the society. To remove drugs from the society, you have to remove them from your own individual psychology. You have to learn to say no. Because with every small, slight, simple thing, you are, kind of teaching your body consciously, subconsciously, a new reward system. And it is learning. Trust me, it is learning. If it is not affecting you, it will affect your child. If it is not affecting your child, it will affect your child's child. It is impacting you somewhere. Your brain is continuously learning subconsciously that a new system is being taught to me. I usually say one pill will kill. Don't think that it will not. One pill will kill. So if I take like, what do you call, one of you and take you to a 20-story building and make you jump from there, what will happen? Can you tell me what will happen? So if I take any one of you to the 20-story building, top of the 20-story building, push you, and yes, you will die. You will die for sure. That's Saptak Bhattacharya. But tell me what? Who killed you? How did you die? What killed you? Did the jump kill you? Or did the fall kill you? Did the jump kill you or did the fall? Yes, the fall killed you. Your impact on the ground killed you. But then
Actually,
to
sir,
prevent that.
Actually, sir, the drugs killed us, sir.
I'm giving a hypothetical example separately. I'll come to your point. The fall killed you. But to prevent that fall, what you have to do is not to jump. So you don't have to get over there. And okay, fine. Some people get addicted to drugs easily, but we tend to see some people apparently don't get addicted even if they. Okay, I'll come to this also. So I started with this concept about your different compositions. Some people are tolerant to different things. So, you might have a friend of yours who would maybe swim for 20 laps and not get tired. And you might get tired in 2 laps. And with a lot of effort, you think, I am not able to pull up to 10 also. And this guy, even with 1 month of swimming, he's doing now from 22, he's gone to 40. What the hell is happening? What is wrong with me? So don't blame yourself. There's nothing wrong with you. This is gift of nature. We all are different. Don't try to find a fault in yourself by being a slow person in swimming because your gift is somewhere else. You have to explore it somewhere else. Similarly, in drugs also, different people have different tolerance. In alcohol also, different people have different tolerance. So, one person might sustain heavy drinking for maybe 2 years, but there's another one who might sustain it for 20 years. There are people, you might ask a question, who die without smoking with lung cancer. That's possible. But there are people who die with smoking also. There are people who are mild smokers, like they take 1 or 2 cigarettes a day, they still die. And there are people who are smoking maybe 2 packs a day, are not dying. So ask this question. You're free to ask this question. Why is it happening? Because the composition of all of us is different. And we do not know what exactly it is. We really do not know what exactly it is. But we know for sure that what is, we live in probabilities. So the day you were born, one thing was sure, if not anything else will happen in life, that you will die. Ye to pakka hai. Well, that was a fatal fact which was written in your life the day you were born, that you will die. After that, you will become a good student or a bad student. You will walk with a limp, or you will walk straight. You will have you lose an eyesight in your life or not. You will become a drug addict, or you will become the best sprinter in the world. Is a journey of life. But the fact was that you will die. So the 100% reality was said. Every other thing happens on probabilities. So now, let's not, if I have a probability, if I have a compositional structure where, I am good at something, why should I choose drugs then? Maybe I'm tolerant to it. Maybe, I'm fine with it. But still, your tolerance is not above the tolerance of the drugs. So maybe, you will have a person who becomes a drug addict in 1 year. But there is another person who is just fine after 1 year with the same amount of consumption of drugs. But trust me, that person still will have a same state after 5 years. And this life will end only the day it will end. You don't count the years in it. You have to live it. You live every minute, you live it every day. So if you start comparing कि इसको तो देखो कुछ नहीं होता है और मेरे को एक ड्रिंक लेने से उल्टी आ जाता है, तो feel lucky. God has gifted you something that you at least will not go in alcohol. And rather than feeling ashamed, you should feel proud about it and tell the other guy, no, it is your problem in life. I'll just change the things in the other way around. So the people who have a lot of, who are very foodies, who enjoy eating food, who eat a lot of food, and maybe there is some person who will say, "Arey yaar, मेरे को तो 2 पराठा खाता हूँ, पेट खराब हो जाता है." And there's another guy who says, "अरे मैं 5-6 खा लेता हूँ, कुछ नहीं होता है." So what is the problem with this guy who goes in extremes? He has a tendency to become an obese person one day. That is as bad, because he will have a lot of complications in his, in his visceral system, in his heart. There are a lot of problems being overweight. Your skeletal structure and everything gives in. You really live a very difficult life. See, you have to understand there are 2 concepts. One is mortality and one is morbidity. So mortality is your fatality in life, that you will die one day. I told you, the day you were born, it was decided that you will die. I'll die one day. It's an eventuality. There's no human being who has been able to survive. Although all our medical studies ever has been on the focused path of enhancing our lifespans, but then it is for sure that our structures cannot survive forever. One day this system has to give in. So mortality is there. Now the question is, if you actually die or not. You can die in an accident, you can die while swimming, you can just slip and fall from the terrace, anything can happen in life. Now, should I sit and wait for the death? No, I have to live life. And when I live my life, I have to be happy, I have to be peaceful, I have to be loving and kind. And when I have to do that, there's another concept called morbidity. The concept of morbidity is different from mortality in the sense that it tells you your quality of life which you live every day. So imagine the psychological strain a cancer patient has to go every day. Imagine if you have a stomach ache or a headache, what kind of a day it is for you, or a day when you're totally okay in your head, what a beautiful day it is. This is the concept of morbidity, that you have to enhance the quality of every minute of your life. So by taking drugs, are you actually enhancing the quality of your life? No. I'll say no. Why? Because that's not you. That's the drug which is making you doing things. You are not that person who is supposed to be. You are not your consciousness. Consciousness is a very mysterious concept because forgive me for going a little far from the topic. But if you, in neuroscience, if you talk to a neuro doctor and discuss about various parts of the brain, various disorders, various functions of the brain, they'll lecture you like anything. There are like scores of books on this. But you catch hold of any neuroscientist and any neurologist and ask him what is consciousness. They have no word. Consciousness is your ability to perceive the surroundings. Why does somebody like a yellow flower and not a red flower? Why does somebody feel very happy when he's in a windy environment? Why does somebody love a thunderclap while somebody gets scared in the thunderclap? That's your consciousness. Why is some of you finding this lecture extremely boring while some might be finding very interesting? That's consciousness. That's how you are connecting with the surroundings. So when you are, this concept of consciousness is very vague. But one thing for sure is that our activities can condition our consciousness towards things. So what we have to do is we should not at least knowingly alter our consciousness. We should remain conscious what we are, what I am right now. I should be able to perceive things. What alcohol, drugs will do is they'll try to alter your consciousness. They are changing your, your perceptions of things. They are attacking your hypothalamus. They are, you start seeing two people. You feel suddenly, happy, and you should not be happy when you're not. So, so that your brain learns to look for things, to look for activities, which will, gradually you'll condition yourself into being happy. With all these strength activities, I'll come back to all of your questions. Just hold on. So, with all these strength activities, what happens is you become mentally very, very strong. Your prefrontal cortex, the one thing which teaches you discipline, becomes extremely strong. Now, with a drug addict, what happens is, these people become so dependent on drugs. Trust me, I will invite all of you, come along with me one day, and I'll show you the children who are languishing in rehab centers, who are staying over there. I mean, you will feel pity. You'll feel, God has been much more kind to even a beggar on the road than a drug addict. At least the beggar is not in pain. He just needs some money to eat food, and he's still happy. He's enjoying the wind. He's enjoying his sleep. You honk on his head and he's in a very restful sleep. He'll wake up. He doesn't hate his surroundings. He's not scrounging for something, he's not having a high pulse or, a restlessness and anxiety, a pain, a fear, a continuous fear in his mind. He's very good. But you go to those children, you meet these people in rehabilitation centers, and, they're just worse. They'll cut their own, they become so anxious, they cut their own skins. You go in front of them, they'll hit you, they'll bang their heads into the wall. They're just killing themselves because the anxiety is eating them. The amygdala has taken over completely. The production of endorphins has stopped. No activity, even looking at the wall, is giving them happiness. All the endorphins have gone from the body because the reward circuit has completely changed. Now they really do not know how to wake up in the morning and feel fresh. They really do not know how brushing the teeth will make them feel fresh. For them, even staying alert is being anxious. They're struggling with that anxiety because there are no hormones in their body. So then they go into this, extreme phase of, these are called withdrawal symptoms. Then they have to be detoxified. First, all the drug effect from the bodies have to be taken off. Then, they have to be put to a rehab where, their mind has to be conditioned to stay away from drugs, stay away from alcohol. And, these kind of, this is a very extremely painful procedure. And then again, there are relapses. So when they go back to the same surrounding, so when a person was living in a particular, with a group of friends, drug addicts, he meets them one day after maybe 10 years, the mind is, throwing the same urges back. Let's just have that high. Let's just have that high. It's not that you might think that, that's so me. It's not so you. It's your hormonal structure which is responding. These are the stored memories which are triggering the responses. And if you go back over there, again, the same reward structure will quickly start forming. The same cycle will start repeating, and you are in this unending cycle of relapses, pain. And with every relapse, you are losing hope. And with every loss of hope, you are just killing yourself. I ask a question. Were you born for this? Did evolution bring you in for this? Have you heard about the survival of the fittest theory? What is survival of the fittest? ये नहीं कि जो कुश्ती में लड़के जीतता है वो निकल जाता है. Survival of the fittest is the theory about fittest bodies, fittest minds, strong bodies, strong minds. Just now your principal was talking about the immune systems. I'll answer your questions because it's very difficult to answer the questions simultaneously. Don't write in the chat box the questions. I'll come to them later on. Just now your principal was talking about the immune system. What is an immune system? Who are you? How does it work? किसी को कोल्ड हुआ है? होता है ना कोल्ड, सबको हुआ कोल्ड. क्या करते हो कोल्ड में? जाते हो, बताओ. डॉक्टर के पास जाते हो, दवाई लेते हो, डॉक्टर अंकल दवाई देते हैं तो फीवर कम हो जाता है, नाक खुल जाती है, गले में दर्द ठीक हो जाता है, अच्छा लगता है ना? I'll tell you the science behind this. So there are two types of antigens. If there's any doctor, please forgive me if I'm making a mistake. Popularly known as two types of antigens, which we face. These are called antigens. These are basically the microbes which are there in nature. There are two types of antigens. One are bacterial and one are viruses. You've heard about COVID virus. Wow, what a thing. Everybody's scared about it. Okay, I'll tell you. So bacterial infections are the infections for which we could synthesize medicines. They were available in the nature. You must have heard about the great discovery of penicillin, streptomycin. So there were a lot of bacterial infections which we would be infected with, and doctors will give us medicine, these antibiotics, they're so called, and we just get all right. But there are viral infections. Now you will be surprised to hear that science, with all the best advancements, has still not been able to make any medicine, trust me, any medicine for viral infections. You know what is the medicine for viral infection? If science is not able to give you medicine for viral infection, then you should die. Why would you die? So why do you survive? The simplest and the most common form of viral infection is the common cold. सर्दी लग गई. It's the most common viral infection. आपको एक साल में 4 बार भी होगा. It's a viral infection. और उसको पता है कौन ठीक करता है? Who cures that viral infection? What is the medicine of that viral infection? Your body. You are the medicine for that viral infection. What the doctors are giving you, they are giving you some analgesics to control your fever. They are giving you some painkillers to cure your body aches. They're giving you some anti-allergens to you don't feel itchy in your nose or in your throat. They are giving you just medicines to make you feel good, but they're not curing you. तभी डॉक्टर अंकल के पास जब जाओगे तो वो एक चीज जरूर बोलते हैं, बेटा लेकिन इसमें 3 से 4 दिन लगेंगे, है ना? अगर दवाई ठीक करती तो भैया हम 1 घंटे में क्यों नहीं ठीक हो जाते? 3 से 4 दिन क्यों लगेंगे इसमें? क्योंकि आपकी बॉडी को एक इम्यूनो रिस्पॉन्स देने में टाइम लगता है. उसको हमारी बॉडी के अंदर जो एंटीबॉडी, जो व्हाइट सेल्स होते हैं, जो हमको टी सेल्स भी बोलते हैं, उनको एक नए वायरस को देके they have got a new enemy in the house, so they have to study this enemy and respond, create new medicine inside. So it takes time. So all these medicines, even COVID was absolutely new virus for us. So what happened was we started getting vaccinated and we started getting scared of vaccination. Vaccination se ye ho jata hai, bukhar ho jata hai, ye ho jata hai. Vaccination is doing nothing. Vaccination is that controlled quantity of that virus ही आपके अंदर डाल दिया गया. नवल सिंह सर, वायरस हमारे अंदर आ गया, कैसे हो गया? बच्चे, आप लोगों को छोटे से जितने भी वैक्सीनेशन हुए हैं, they were all controlled dormant viruses which were put in you so that your body can respond. जब हम कंट्रोल्ड क्वांटिटी में कुछ हमारे अंदर जाएगा तो हमारा बॉडी का इम्यूनो सिस्टम जागेगा, वो एनिमी को देखेगा और रिस्पॉन्ड करेगा और उसको बीट करेगा. Then your immune system has a very good feature called memory. It's there in your thymus. They learn it. It's a small organ in your breastbone. वो सीख जाता है. तो अगली बार जब भी वो वायरस घुसेगा, the response is ready. The whole body, all the cells, they are doing it, and you don't even know it. You are not even aware. तो आपको वैक्सीन करने से फीवर आया, डर गए. फीवर क्यों आया? अरे फीवर तो आना है क्योंकि आपकी बॉडी ने रिस्पॉन्ड किया. बिकॉज व्हेन योर व्हाइट सेल्स आर fighting against these antigens, your body temperature will rise. And these antibodies, your body temperature will rise. Your body temperature will rise. That's normal. It's normal to feel weak because your body is fighting an outsider. There are some of the most scariest viruses in the world, like smallpox, and smallpox was there at one particular point of time, and there was Ebola. Trust me, if you are infected with Ebola, if you're infected in the morning, within 24 hours, your chances of death are 90%. So if it infects 10 people, 9 will invariably die. It's so dangerous. Why? Because our body is not conditioned to respond to it so quickly. So what the doctors do is they keep you alive till the point your body is able to create that immuno response. Now I'm coming to the same point. So what you need is a strong body. And what gives you a strong body is a healthy lifestyle, a healthy mind. वो नशे में पड़े रहने वालों की बच्चे कभी भी कोई स्ट्रॉन्ग बॉडी नहीं होती है। कभी पहलवानों को देखा है आपने कि वो मतलब चलो 2 पैग मार के कुश्ती लड़ने जाते हैं, वो 2 गिलास दूध पी के कुश्ती लड़ने जाएंगे क्योंकि शरीर तगड़ा चाहिए। जब पैंडेमिक आता है तो इट रियली डिफरेंशिएट्स बिटवीन हेल्दी पीपल एंड अनहेल्दी पीपल, and there it is, the survival of the fittest. The evolution has gifted us that. Evolution will choose the fittest people and take the species further. It will discard the unfit things. आप साइड में चलिए. Evolution is completely merciless on us. The only thing that saves us is science, and science can help us only to the limit we are able to help ourselves. So if you have to fight the drug menace, fight this fear in your mind, fight this impulse in your mind that I don't have to go there. Make a strong body, live a healthy lifestyle, eat healthy, sleep on time, play games. I say it is compulsory. Parents should never stop their children in going out and playing games. जो छोटे छोटे बच्चे देखे ना आपने, वो रास्ते में क्रॉल करते रहते हैं, ठीक है, of course there is a risk कि उनको इंजरी होगी, but then from the childhood only they are getting exposed to so many bacteria and viruses that छोटे से ही उनको what do you call, you know, वो मिलना शुरू हो जाता है, immunity मिलनी शुरू हो जाती है. Even at the 60 years of age, that child is very, very strong, very, very strong. So that, and this immunity reflects at your older ages. That is where the, you know, the evolution is choosing. I'll tell you a very, it's a very scientifically established fact that you must be hearing कि जो बच्चे मतलब वो होता ना, हमें कहावत होती है माँ का दूध पिया तो आजा. So what is there extra in mother's milk? The extra thing in mother's milk is the beauty that God has created a divine relationship between a mother and a child. So when a child feeds on the mother, it is not that he's getting the milk. Even the mother's body is getting the saliva from the child all the time. Those pores in the mother's body are getting saliva where the contact is there. And those contact points are studying the saliva all the time. And the mother is studying all the infections in the child's body. It is studying all the foreign bodies, the imperfections in the child body. And the mother's body is now, you know, the immune system of the mother's body is now creating new antibodies and next giving it to the child to go and fight. और वो बच्चे का छोटा टाइम से ही बॉडीली स्ट्रेंथ बढ़ना शुरू होता है क्योंकि उसका इम्यून सिस्टम बहुत स्ट्रांग है. उसका मसल सिस्टम हो तो मतलब 22 इंच का मसल नहीं होगा, लेकिन उसका इम्यून सिस्टम बहुत स्ट्रांग है. और जिसका इम्यून सिस्टम बहुत स्ट्रांग है, जिसकी बॉडी फिट है, वो मेंटली हमेशा स्ट्रांग होगा. इनवेरिएबली अ मेंटली वीक पर्सन विल हैव अ very weak immunity, and invariably a drug addict, an alcoholic, a smoker, they will be weak. Trust me, I am 42. I'll be 42 this year. I have a lifestyle. I wake up every morning. All my officers in my force know Rajan is there. He knows me. He's seen me for the last 10 years. I'll wake up in the morning. At this age, I'll, you know, at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'll put on my shoes. I'll just, you know, put on my music, and I have to go for running 5 to 10 kilometers every day. I'll come down, I'll do my push-ups, I'll do everything. I'll then play a game of tennis, or if there's swimming, I'll go for swimming, or if there's horse riding, I'll go for horse riding, because 6 to 8 in the morning is my time. It's my meditation. It is what I do for myself, for my body. And this is the reward structure I have taught to my body. So what did my body learn? Get up in the morning, do running, do your fitness, be strong, do the things which are good for your immune system, rather than, you know, stay awake till 3 o'clock in the night, drink alcohol, smoke, have drugs, and, you know, completely exhaust your mind, exhaust your body, kill your nervous system, and just kill your, you know, immune response system, and just be like that. Don't you people want to be good sons, good daughters? Don't you people want to be good parents? Don't you want people want to become, you know, good doctors, good engineers, responsible people in future? And if you have to do it, trust me, you have to take your individual call. Say no to drugs. Don't ever take drugs or support anybody who is having drug, who is taking drugs. If you see any individual, you know, there's a friend of mine, you know that he's taking drugs, you've heard, go and please confront him. Confront him. Keep eating his mind. एक चीज को रोज सुबह उठ के जरूर बोलो, आई एम अ वंडरफुल इंडिविजुअल, I'm not going to commit anything wrong. I'm not going to go on the wrong path. And I'll make this day count. I'll do good today. I'll do good today. Be yourself good. If you're right, everything in your periphery, in your surroundings will be right. And trust me, there is something called your subconscious mind. What is your conscious mind is very little, but your subconscious mind is huge. It stores a lot of memories. It's, it's fantastic. It's great. So it is learning things which you are telling, you are seeing, you're doing. So if you keep telling yourself, "अरे मैं डरपोक हूँ, तो एक दिन डरपोक बन जाओ." अगर अपने आप को ये सिखाते रहो कि मैं शेर हूँ, मैं शेर हूँ, मैं शेर हूँ, तो शेर ही बनोगे, दिलेर ही बनोगे. And this life is a long journey. It's not the test of one swimming competition or 100-meter race or passing one exam. It's a long journey. More than physically, it will test you mentally. Your mental strength will come at every point in time, in all, facing all the failures, in facing all the setbacks, in facing difficult times in life. And that is where a strong mind will come in. And that is where a mind free of drugs will come and play a role in your lives. So stay away from drugs and keep your friends away from drugs. Don't go for allurements like smoking. Thoda smoke kar lete hain, thoda drink kar lete hain. Trust me, those days of fashion have gone when people used to think कि smoke क्या अच्छा मिला क्या ये तो मुझे बताओ न्यूट्रिशन क्या था उसमें क्या मजा आया you smoked a cigarette. Somebody just asked me, you smoked a cigarette, you know what it does to you? It interferes with your breathing system, a naturally gifted breathing system. These lungs are your pistons of body. They are all the time taking in the air, filtering out the oxygen, transmitting that oxygen into with the RBC cells. The oxygen molecules, they stick to the RBC cells, and then the heart pumps those things all to the body, and your body is eating. It's not you are feeding. ये जो खाना जा रहा है आपके मुंह से ये बहुत it's what you can see, but all the billions of cells in your body, they have a mitochondria. They need energy. They need ATP to function. So they need food, they need oxygen, they need water to survive, and they have to continuously want. You are continuously interfering with. Now what happens is, I'll tell you, for all the people who think that smoking might be just okay. So when you smoke, your epithelium in the skin epithelium has something called cilia. They are fibers, these are like this. They keep moving like this, like something like 16 17 movements per second. This is like this. What happens is your lungs are continuously breathing. So a lot of pollution, a lot of particles, a lot of microbes, they come in. Some get rejected at the nasal level, some get rejected in the sinus level, and some get rejected at the throat level. And there are certain others which are very extremely small microbes, like 2.5 microns. You might hear pollutants like 2.5 microns. They're too small, so they completely get into your lungs. So अब क्या होगा, lungs क्या मतलब इन सबको लेके बैठ जाए? So that means by 5 to 6 years of age, you should be like totally out of your breath. So lungs doesn't do that. It doesn't happen. Lungs has cilias. What cilia does is, there is a secretion of mucus in the membranes of the lungs. So this fluid, it collects all the waste, and this cilia keeps pushing the mucus and the waste out of the lungs all the time. So there's a continuous, unconscious process of cleaning of lungs which is going on. When you start smoking, the tar and the smoke, it becomes so overwhelming on the lungs that this cilia is not able to push them out. They start getting deposited on the cilia, and they start getting deposited in so huge amounts that mucus is not able to take out. Then gradually what happens? One chamber of the lung blocks, second chamber of the lung blocks, two chambers of the lung block. Then gradually lungs are blocking, and then comes a day when you are not able to, run for 1 kilometer, then you're not able to run for 100 meters, then you're not able to walk for 100 meters, then you're not able to walk 2 steps of stairs, and then there is a day when you're not able to go to the bathroom also. You are blue on your nails, your lips, and everything. Really, I mean, this is what you wanted. This is the choice you want to make for yourself, or you want to be a man who wants his lungs to improve every day. Your energy, your strength, your capability, your ability to hike mountains or swim through the waters or run or play tennis or play football or hockey or maybe run with children, or you want to choose that. Do you want to be like a strong person to whom everybody should look up to, or you want to be a weak person who should be like mujhe zara pakad ke wahan tak le jao? So this fashion is only for a few days. This affair of smoking and feeling bold and mature, that's very stupid. It's just for a few days. What comes next is the addiction, the dependence, and then the tolerance, and then finally the withdrawals. They'll take you very badly. So don't stop. Don't start over there. Just stay away from it. You'll be a very, very happy person. Trust me. Do good things. Do exercise. Do meditation. Try to focus your mind on something. We exercise so much. We play tennis. We do gymnastics. We do so many things. That's all for your physical body. It's helping your mind also. But there's a direct exercise of mind, which is meditation. Sit for some time, still, quiet. And you people are in such a beautiful age when you can start right now, because your minds are not in that turmoil of the world. You can anything, whatever you like, just focus on one thing. Just try to be still. Learn to be at peace with yourself. Learn to be, happy with yourself. You can sit in your bedroom. You can sit in your garden. You can sit in the lawn, wherever you like. You can sit on a chair. You can just lie down. Where you are awake, but you're not doing anything. Because when you're awake, you're certainly doing something, thinking something is happening. And then as soon as you're free, your mind switches off and you're asleep. Then you have to find a state in between where you are awake, but you are still free. You must trust me, because as and when you mature in life, you will need to learn this art of pulling your mind from some affairs to the other one. There will be a lot of nagging and painful things happening in your mind. And if you don't train your mind to break it off, you will get pulled into a, kind of a circle of frustration and anxiety and restlessness. And, this will again affect you very badly. So learn to do meditation, play games, play sports, go out, have good company, chat with friends, eat healthy, eat balanced, sleep well. Sleeping is one of the most gifted things we have. Why do we sleep? I'll tell you why do we sleep. Because you're not you're not a car or an engine which can be switched off. Your heart cannot be stopped. It cannot be stopped. Your kidneys cannot be stopped from functioning. They have to function. They have to stay alive. That's how they're attuned. But what they need is rest. So if, let us say, your heart is pumping at the rate of 72 per minute in the day, when you sleep, it is pumping at the rate of 45 per minute. So it is taking rest. It is also relaxing. Your kidneys, they need to relax, because they just cannot help in purifying blood so much all the time. So for at least 8 hours, they didn't drink water. There was no new fluids in the body that they had to filter out. So give them some rest. Give the liver some rest. They're all your visceral and vital organs in the body. So when you learn to give rest to all these organs, they relax and you become healthy. That's the physiological benefit. The psychological benefit is, you sleep in cycles. Sleep is a wonderful thing for the mind. You sleep in cycles. So initially you just lie down. Then there's a transition phase when you feel that I'm sleeping, but I'm not. Then there is a phase when you're going into sleep completely. And then there is something called an REM phase, rapid eye movement phase of the sleep. What is rapid eye movement? कभी वो छोटे बच्चों को सोते हुए देखा है आपने? सोते ना, बोलते ना, तुम्हारी आंखें ना ऐसे 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 चल रही थी. You can make out the eyeball movements. That is the phase of deep sleep. So it is like 4 steps in one cycle, and you can have 3-4 cycles in sleep. Now REM sleep is very important. Sometimes we get scared of the dreams, but it's not like that. Your dreams are, your dreams are beautiful things. That is a sign that you are in a deep sleep, which you need. Some people dream thrice in the night. That means you slept deeply 3 times in the night. Your body, you gave adequate rest to your body and mind. So in sleep, when you are dreaming, what is invariably happening is, बहुत सारे लोग बोलते हैं ना कि हम तो दिन भर जो किया रात में सपने में वही आता है. Your brain needs deep sleep to sort the memories. उसको memories बनाना है. दिन भर जो किया उसको store करना है. Sometimes you get funny, kind of what do you call dreams कि हम पानी में दौड़ रहे थे. Something like this. That is, your brain is very sorting memories. It is connecting with certain past memories. So those flashes which are coming out, that is nothing but the sorting of the memories which is going on in your mind. So aapko wo, you need that particular rest to revitalize your mind and to relax your body. And then imagine, can you just see what nature has gifted you with? Your body goes for paralysis every night when you sleep. You are in a paralytic state of life. क्योंकि रात में जब आप पंजे लड़ा रहे होते हो या पंच मार रहे होते हो या उड़ रहे होते हो, you don't actually start flying. Your mind disconnects with your body. Your mind, this is nature has gifted us. can you get just imagine you never fall from the bed, because nature has gifted us that you will not fall. You might twist here and there and there, because your muscles need to relax, otherwise they'll cringe. But your mind has trained to body not to respond to the signals when it is in sleep. Otherwise, you might feel that in the night I am a kind of a Iron Man and I have just punched somebody, or pata chala you've killed your partner who's sleeping next to you. You've punched him so hard, but you don't do it. You might feel that I'm in sleep, I'm running 200 meters. You don't do it. Why don't you do it? Because evolution has not given you that. Evolution has given you this art of resting, and that is to all the animals. Sometimes it goes to extremes, and we start blabbering something. Some people start walking in the night. That's a disorder. That's a disorder that needs to be taken care of. But what is normal is to dream and sleep healthy for at least 7 to 8 hours in the night. And this whole combination of good sleep and a good day will make you feel extremely happy and extremely relaxed. And this discipline of sleeping on time, waking on time, I'm again connecting it to the same thing called prefrontal cortex, which gives you disciplined life. The drugs will destroy that also. You will not be able to sleep. So you see alcoholics, they'll have invariably very poor memory. The reason being, they are, they never went into deep sleep. It was an induced sleep. They never had drug addicts. It was never a sleep for them. They never restful. It was an induced sleep. They were forcibly, their mind was taken at rest. So they don't have dreams. They have very poor memories, and they are the consequent frustration. They're never happy. They never wake up fresh. They're always agitated because that frustration of not being able to sleep properly in the night, because your prefrontal cortex got completely erratic in the process, and you were not able to respond because of the impact of the drugs. So there's a lot of damage. There's a gamut of events. This is a very small session, so I cannot get into it. So there's a lot of damage it can cause. So I will suggest to all of you, I'll cut short because I think it's been a long session so far. I'll take questions from you. So I'll suggest to all of you, is my brotherly advice to all of you is say no to drugs. Don't get into anything. Life is difficult, definitely, but drugs is not going to make it any easy. Smoking and drinking is not going to make it any easy. In this competitive world, as I said, the survival of the fittest. If you want to be the fittest, you have to follow some discipline in life. Belong to a very humble background. There was a time when we used to live in one room house only. But one thing which I learned from my father was, just like all of you, one day, I also, I think it was 18 or 19 in my college, and it was my birthday, and some of my friends told me, chalo, thoda sa beer pite hai. And I had half of that. And I came home, and my father, I'm just talking in a very frank way with all of you. And my father saw me. I went to sleep. I woke up in the morning. He called me, had a heartily chat with me. He said, sit down. And he said that, look, I'm a public servant. I work very hard. I can afford so much of money only to educate you and to make you a good human being. But I cannot afford your luxuries. So in case you want to spoil yourself with all these luxuries, you please work yourself and earn your money and do whatever you want. Because when you earn your money, you will be wise enough to take a decision whether it is right or wrong, whether it is worth it or not. But don't be a drain on your parents' resources. They work very hard, very, very hard for you. Trust me. There's a lot of mental and physical strain they go through every day. Your mother at home, or maybe a mother at work, or father at home, or father at work. They are really, doing. Don't waste them all this and work hard. I'm telling you, discipline, dedication, and hard work will definitely take you somewhere. Maybe it will not take you where you want to, but it will take you somewhere where people will respect you, where people will recognize you. And believe me, life is mysterious. It is beautiful. Just enjoy the mysteries of life how it comes. Never say it is end. Life never ends. Life will end the day you will stop breathing. Until then, the game is on, the competition is there in the field, and you will become a successful person one day. Fine. So now I think this is all that I'll say. It's been very long. Even my officers are waiting for another meeting. So if there are any questions anybody wants to ask, I'll be happy to take them quickly.
If any student has any question, please raise your hand. I'll unmute you one by one and you can ask the question. Sahil, please go ahead. Sahil, right?
Good morning to the Honorable Commissioner, sir. Firstly, thank you so much for taking some time out of your precious routine to interact with us. So, sir, you spoke about the changing of neurotransmission systems. You spoke about a lot of degradation of mental state when you have and take drugs, right, sir? And
Right.
that gets me to think that when you take drug, after a while, it becomes involuntary action to seek out for it. As you said, a reward seeking state. You get paranoid, indisciplined, and there is a degradation of mental state. And you also said that drugs make you do it. So that leads me to believe that you don't do it voluntarily. So why do we see that we don't treat drug addicts like victims and we rather treat them as criminals? And how can we change that attitude towards them?
Wonderful. Sahil, you have nailed it at the right place. Yes, I never treat a drug addict as a criminal. I always sympathize for them, right? I wish they could remember this theory of one pill kills. So they would have not started. But if somebody has gone astray, that's what our advice is. That's what a small video which we'll be playing right now will tell all the parents. Treat the drug addict with compassion. Don't hide him, but don't despise him also. Treat him with compassion, counsel him, bring him out of it, because ultimately he will do his or somebody else's damage in the process. So we have to help him. It is like, meeting somebody with meeting somebody with a psychological problem. So there's no problem. Why would you hate the person? It's there. It's, we all are different. It can happen with anybody. So the right thing to do is to help the people out. Everybody is not privileged, successful, intelligent, smart, or, balanced in life. There are people who go astray. We have to bring them back. That's how we can, how we can progress as a society or as a nation. If we have, a lot of drug addicts, then we have a big manpower, which is not giving man hours of work. At the same time, it is increasing the crime rate, law and order problems. At the same time, it is, creating a strain on the medical infrastructure. So why to do that? Let's bring everybody on board and make them smart so that they can contribute to the overall development of the country.
Thank you so much, sir.
Rahul Paul, please go ahead with your question.
Good morning, Honorable Sir.
Good morning,
It's an honor to be here and interact with you.
Thank you.
So I have a dream to become an IPS like you in future. So, sir, my question is, what would be your suggestion for the aspirants who are willing to become an IPS or a civil servant in future and would indulge in a public life from a ground level?
Okay, so if you want to become an IAS or an IPS officer, or for that matter, any individual, I have a respect for all the professions. I respect every individual who works hard to, earn a livelihood and take care of his family. So with due respect to all the professions, when you're talking about specifically IAS and IPS, it's a long road, requires a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication. One thing which you have to enjoy is the journey. You have to enjoy studying. When I say enjoy studying, it's not like you have to make it some kind of a research subject. It's an exam, ultimately, like your graduation exams, +2 exams, 10th exams. You have to pass an exam. So it's a combination of hard work and smart work. Work hard with a lot of patience, a lot of perseverance. There's a lot of data processing which goes on in the mind. But as I said, your mind is a wonder. It forms its own neural structures. It somehow makes its own memories. But more importantly, you have to be disciplined. Very, very disciplined. I mean, as I'm telling you, I did my chartered accountancy and my CA like in a span of, I think there was a gap of like 3 years in which I had to do all this together, forth and back. So it was like for 3 years, I do not even know if I enjoyed the sunlight properly. It was just studying. So if you need focus, it's a game of focus and passion. You have to create your own reward structure, let's say, while studying, so that you get completely drowned in it. It might not pay off in the end, but certainly you will be somewhere. If you are not even at the top, you will be somewhere where you will be respected and recognized. And when I say, when you are striving for something, just go for it. In life has always respected the people who have taken the risks and done 200% to achieve their goals in life. This is how humanity has respected people. I hope I answered your question.
We are running short of time, so we will just take one last question from Prachi and Arya. Prachi and Arya, please go ahead.
A very good morning, sir. Thank you so much for your humble and amazing words. Sir, I would like to ask that we all know how dangerous drugs, the smokes, cigarette, and alcohol is. So why isn't it banned from our country yet? Like, yeah, there might be some rallies from the addicts, but eventually they'll stop, right? How long can they go on? So why isn't it banned entirely from our country? The
Okay,
factories,
so
why
I'll
aren't they
get
shut
to
down?
see. See, I'll tell you. It's like I'll talk about drugs. Drugs are totally banned. Classified drugs are there: heroin, cocaine, brown sugar. There are a lot of categories of amphetamines which are banned, opiates which are banned. There are a lot of medicines which are banned, cough syrups. We conduct raids at them. So it's the mafia. It's a gang which works in this. And this is a big challenge which has arisen all over the world. Had it not been, as your principal said, that in 1987, the United Nations Assembly announced this day because we needed a collective fight. It was the United Nations who decided we need a collective fight to rise against this menace all over the world, because one country fighting, one not fighting is not going to help. So we'll keep fighting. But they're criminals. They also devise new ways, new methods, because ultimately we have to understand it is helping there are buyers in the market. There are people who are willing to take it, who are willing to pay money for it. So it becomes a very lucrative trade for all these criminals. But we have to fight them. It's like asking the question that we have in the cyberspace, we have a lot of criminals who are committing crimes, who are committing cyber frauds. So why don't we just snap the internet connection, stop it completely? So that will help. But there are always two sides of the coin. So while all these discoveries were made for medicinal purposes, there are always people who devise ways to misuse them. So while arms were all made to make the people defend the countries, there are people who smuggle them and use for terrorist activities. And law enforcement is always striving to fight against them, to deal with them. Now, as for alcohol and cigarettes, see, there are certain state policies where state allows the sale, but state does not allows the publicity. I think already this a lot of advertisements are coming out, making the people aware about all these things. My whole issue is of course things to deal with, but why, when we will become mature, when we will grow up and accept the fact that honking is dangerous to ears, let's not honk. Enforcement and law is always there. But what is civil society? What is a civilized society? What is a culture? Where are people in this culture? We as people have to understand and respect ourselves and others in the system. So when somebody is told that wear helmet, I don't know why, for the fondness of getting a good hairstyle, that person is ready to compromise with his life because he's not ready to listen to the law enforcement, or he enjoys the kick in violating the law. Law was not made for my benefit individually. It is not giving any benefit to me. It is made for the general benefit of the people by the elected governments of the people. So when we will learn to obey, so when we will learn to, see a cigarette shop in the market and say no to it, fine, I don't want, because that's what it's harmful. Everybody is saying it's harmful. There's not even one single advertisement anywhere or one in the propaganda material anywhere which says that it is useful. Because trust me, this market of psychotropic substances is so vast and it is so dynamic. There are so many people who are doing so much of business in this that we will remove one thing from the system and something other more dangerous comes in. It is sometimes a choice between choosing the lesser evil. But I'm saying that when we will accept that we are not supposed to do this, when as an individuals we will grow. I was telling the people from the lines the other day when I was sitting with my 8-year-old daughter in a cinema hall and I was watching a movie. The whole commercial started with that cigarette and that unfortunate boy Mukesh who died, and my daughter closes her ears at that shuts her eyes at that time, and then as soon as the advertisement is she last, mein khatam ho gaya. I said yes. Then she said, please aap life mein kabhi smoke mat kijiyega. So at least we have this generation who, irrespective of the fact it is available or not, I will not do it. It is just like, crossing the bridge every day and deciding I'm not going to jump. I know I'll die. Why don't we jump from the bridge? Or we'll stop making the bridges because there is a reasonable chance that people will die. Or we shall stop making the 10-story buildings because there is reasonable chance that people will jump from there and die. But when will you overcome your urge and when you will become disciplined that no, it's not here. I'm not here to jump from it. I'm just here to cross it. I have to overlook these urges and these stupidities which can damage me. And all these social environments which create these impulses. Okay. Any other question, please? Last question. I have a meeting. Sorry.
Okay, Avirup Shah.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Sir, my question is that how to treat drug addicts without sending them to the rehabilitation center because it mentally nervouses them and it means I'm not getting the words exactly, but how to not send them to the rehabilitation center and treat them at home and make them normal.
Okay, so see, everything depends upon the family environment. The warmth and the care and the love in the family environment, the trust in the family environment is very, very important. So if you come across a child who is a drug addict and you start scolding him on the first day, tu faltu hai, tu nalayak hai, tune naam kharab kar diya, bahar nikal jao, ye wo, you're not serving the purpose, right? I personally feel that causing indignity to any individual does not bring him out of any trouble. So you have to be compassionate. You have to sit down with the child. You have to understand the reasons why he's into it. Sometimes, I'm telling you, most of the drug addicts whom we have come across, they want to get out of the problem. They're in a psychological trap. They are just not able to get out of it. So it's like somebody, who is trapped in some place and he's a frog in the well, and you just have to extend a rope. Now, the reason is now here, the kind of compassion and counseling and understanding attitude which you can, prevail upon this person is very important. Now, again, this will depend upon who is the drug addict and how is this individual. Sometimes you might have to combine it with, professional counseling and diverting the mind of individual to something else which is more gainful, which is more useful for him in something, putting him in some kind of a job, putting him in some kind of an activity. It's again, like making altogether new neural structures and taking him away from those surroundings for some time so that he learns new things. So I think be very compassionate, be very kind to the individual, be understanding, and try to counsel him out of this. But I'm telling you, these things are very risky also at times because withdrawal symptoms are very severe. So the person becomes, he becomes very violent, and his physiological bodily responses are so dangerous that they could be very harmful for his health. So some kind of, if it is an initial stage of drugs, of course, it is very easy to take out. But if it is very difficult, then take medical advice. I think it should be done under proper medical supervision.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful session. This was first of its kind session which we have organized today for the students of Delhi Public School. And in the days ahead, we are planning to have more sessions among the students of other schools, be it private schools or government schools. And like we have got a short video which will be showing the activities of Siliguri Metropolitan Police. They have on the awareness. So I would request to please play this video. thank you so much. So we are once again thankful to the management of DPS Siliguri and Siliguri Metropolitan Police for such a wonderful participation. We had almost around more than 1,000 participation, and we hope like we will get the same support from DPS Siliguri and Siliguri Metropolitan Police. So thank you once again and have a nice day. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you, everyone, and I'm hopefully looking forward to one of you to see one of you as being CP Siliguri one day. And please don't forget to give me a call that day and tell me that, sir, we attended your session and now I'm here. That will be the best moment of my life. Thank you very much.
And this is the last thing. Like, we have been seeing the good work of Siliguri Metropolitan Police during the last 1.5 years. They have been doing a wonderful job in helping the COVID affected people and maintaining the law and order. So from the entire citizens of Siliguri, we once again thank you once again to Siliguri Metropolitan Police. Please give a round of applause to all of them and a standing ovation to the Siliguri Metropolitan Police. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. I'll take all of your leave.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Bye. Bye. Bye.